And welcome back to the Stoners Roundtable podcast. I'm your host, James Emerson. Yes, I'm back with another Skyrim video. I discovered a few things this morning while I was trying to get into my Skyrim. And it just happens to be that somebody who messaged me on my website actually asked me the same question about the same problem I was having. The question was, do I experience any freezing problems with my Skyrim game? Well, to be honest with you, yes. Since the new update, I have experienced a few times when I try to get in the game that it'll freeze and won't let me do anything, and I completely have to exit out of the game and restart it. So just be mindful. Some of you haven't experienced that yet. Just be grateful. I have. Obviously, the person who messaged me on my website had the same thing. So there is that issue. So another thing I wanted to address this morning was, the little method of getting into your creations by Omega Fraz Gaming. It does work, but I discovered a little hiccup. And here's what I'm going to show you what to do. So let's go into the creations, and we're going to do everything that Omega Fraz Gaming said to do, just like I said in my last video. Go into creations, let it load up. Of course, this may take a minute for you guys on PlayStation 5, like it does me. Okay, now immediately go to your mods list. Don't wait for the other page to load up. Hit triangle and go into your mod list. Now, here's what you want to do. Like I said in the last video, put your controller down. Don't touch it. Don't scroll down. Don't do anything with it. Don't touch it. Just leave it alone. And what you want to do, and I didn't notice this, and I had to time it today to see if I was right. What you want to do is you want to wait 3 to 5 minutes for all of your mods to load in your mod list. Because I think what's going on here, the reason why it's crashing so much, could be a loading time issue. Or we're going in here and trying to get in here and trying to load it, and we're not giving it enough time to fully load everything, and so it's causing a havoc and it's crashing everything. The AI's brain is seizing. Like I said, give it 3 to 5 minutes to load up. I'm not going to do that at the moment, but I'll show you one of the reasons why, if it'll do it. The reason why it took me so long to do a video this morning is apparently the automatic updates on my PlayStation 5 were somehow turned off, and I had a system update that was long overdue, and I had to update my console. So I apologize for the late video. So maybe it's actually loading correctly this time. Aha! Here's what I was talking about. 3 to 5 minute rule. This right here. If you don't give it the full 3 to 5 minutes to fully load everything, for one, you'll get this little screen here that shows nothing but the Skyrim emblem, and in the description box it'll say no description available, which means it hasn't fully loaded everything yet. So, like I said, I could be wrong. It could be something completely different, but from what it looks like to me, being a former computer tech, being a guy who used to work on the original Windows XP, it looks like a loading timing issue. So my best recommendation would give it the 3 to 5 minutes to fully load. I mean, once you have some of your mod pictures on here, you can actually go back, and here you go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my load order because I see something that's going to cause me to crash if I don't. I'm back in here and wait for everything to fully load. Now, the reason why I did that is because when I tried to get here this morning and I let all my mods load up on my mod list, I went back into the creations page, and that topmost picture where it shows the 2 paid mods that you get was still gray. All the other ones were, the pictures are showing up, but that top picture was still gray. And as I tried to scroll down to see the other mods, my game crashed. So I'm telling you, it must be a timing issue with the loading. So give it some time to load. Ooh, well, hold on a second. That little noise was a notification going off, and I have another. Yes, I addressed to the person who messaged me. I'm sorry, I have to work on this little notification app on my website. It's supposed to show up the name of the person messaging me, but unfortunately it's not showing the names up at the moment. So if you're watching this, I addressed that yesterday. Yes, this method does work to load it. But I'm telling everybody now, give yourself 3 to 5 minutes to let everything load, including in your mod load order. So, and another thing, when you're in here, I know Echo One Eyes Only on his channel, he had commented. Well, he commented on my video saying that no matter how fast or how slow he scrolled, his game would crash. You know, yeah, I get it on the PS4, and that's what he does most of his videos on, is on his PS4. What I've noticed on a PS5, if you scroll too fast, it'll cause a crashing issue sometimes. So scroll a little slowly. I know this is time consuming and it's just a little irritating, but you want to give your mods time to load, and you don't want to rush the loading. And scrolling too fast could cause, system to rush load, is what I call it. Here we go. I think they're all starting to load up properly now. Aha! Here's another issue. I think Echo One mentioned this in his video, but here's the issue. Notice if you're watching from my last video, I said that this little mod right here is supposed to be right here, according to the mod description. This is what happens when you go back into your load order. For some reason, it keeps reshuffling your mods. So mods that are supposed to be in a certain position or getting rearranged and put in positions they're not supposed to be in. So what I have to do is reposition it and put it in the proper order. Now that all the mods have fully loaded, and you can see that I haven't had any crashes. There, I still have an issue. This one right here, Winterfrost. That picture should be right there. So I'm about to have a crash issue. So go back in here. If I stay in here, I don't crash. But like I said, if I notice it, that picture right there shows the Skyrim emblem, and it doesn't show the actual picture, like this picture for it, then more than likely it's probably going to crash. But so far, I've been lucky and it hasn't crashed, so that's a good thing. There's something else I was going to mention. as as far as I know, I don't know what the mod limit on this is because I haven't even attempted to add any new mods. Doesn't mean that I won't later on, but don't know if I want to add any more for the simple fact, especially with all the bugs and the crashes, I'm starting to think that maybe that's what's wrong with my PlayStation 4 version is that when I go into the load order there, it shows that I have 117 out of 119 or 117 mods loaded. I agree with Echo 1. There is an issue with that. I got to looking at the load order in my PS4 version when I got in there, and I noticed that there were mods that I uninstalled a long time ago that had been reinstalled that shouldn't be reinstalled. So something's going on to where there's a bug that's reinstalling old mods that really shouldn't be there. So maybe that's what's causing my PlayStation 4 a loading issue and a crash issue, is there's just mods that are not supposed to be in there. So if you're a PS5 user like me and you have both versions of Skyrim on there and you're having the same issue with me, go in there and see if some of those old mods haven't been reinstalled, or uninstall them and see if that don't kick the issue out. I'm going to do that later. I might do a video on it. But for now, that's some of the stuff I've noticed this morning. And I've noticed that's one way to get rid of that crashing issue is the method that we just showed you, method from Omega Fraz Gaming. And the little pointers I just showed you that I discovered for myself, which is when you go into the load order, give it 3 to 5 minutes to fully load. However long it takes yours to load. It takes mine a little bit longer because my PS5 is working off Wi-Fi and it's not working off a hard line. So the Wi-Fi, it takes it a little bit longer to download. So far everything's working, so that's still not loading, so maybe I'm not going to have a crash issue. But now you can go in here and you can see all the free mods. I'm still wondering about that one. And after that 3 to 5 minutes, check my timer here. Yeah. So after that 3 to 5 minutes, it still works. I mean, so far I'm not having a crashing issue. I'm not having a freezing issue like I did this morning. I got in here, I let everything loaded up. Everything seemed to working fine, and all of a sudden, when I got down to the miscellaneous mods, I couldn't go no further. Everything froze on me. So it's not doing it now. So who knows? Maybe the system, the console update I did this morning knocked some issues out. I highly doubt it, but one can only hope. So that's all the things I've noticed so far. Wow, the visual mods section has really gotten short. And weapons, as far as I can go. Well, weapons. Of course, it's all in alphabetical order, so of course. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it does work, and those are some of the issues that I've noticed while getting on this morning. If you don't let it load the 3 to 5 minutes, you could have a crashing issue. I did. I was like some of you when you probably heard my last video and found this method. Finally, we can get in and just look. Well, don't rush. And right now, I'm scrolling through it pretty fast because it's showing me it's not going to be an issue. It's not going to crash. So, but when you first get in there, scroll through it slowly for you PS5 users. So, that's it. If anybody else has noticed anything, leave a comment. Check out my friend Echo One Eyes Only on his channel for more news. I get all of my news from him, so if you ever hear me say something, it's because I heard it from his channel, and I'm just trying to help him spread the news and everything. So but that's the simplest way to get in there, guys. No crash issues, no nothing. So now that I did that, and of course now that I rearranged my mods as I showed you, you're going to get this little icon too. The creation section load order has changed. The game will now reload your data files. You will have to do this every time, unfortunately. Notice something's missing up in the right hand corner there? Yeah, usually there's a message there. It's not there anymore. I don't know if I should be concerned or if it's... Always go with your current load order. Don't go with the save load order. I tried to go with the save load order this morning and my game crashed. And so far, I do not have any issues loading the game after I've gone in the creation section. That seems like a domestic dispute between you two. I'm just going to go over here. Now that we got away from the spatting husband and spouse, in closing, not every PS5 or PS4 is going to work the same, unfortunately. Yeah, it's got all the same hardware, but the reason why I say that is because not every PS4, every PS5 has the same game setup. Everyone has a different setup. Everyone has different upgrades and whatnot to their PS5. So some PS5s and PS4s may perform better than others. It just depends. I may be experiencing issues on my PlayStation 5 Skyrim that nobody else is experiencing. Of course, a lot of people are going to say, well, if you're experiencing them, shouldn't other people experience them? Not necessarily. For Skyrim, it just depends on the mods and the mod order you have on yours. Could be that I do have a few mods that are causing crash issues. Who knows? To me, it just sounds like a load timing issue. So if you give it the 3 to 5 minutes, it should work just fine, as my PS5 edition is doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go see if the issue that I mentioned with my PS4 version can be corrected, and that's go in there, uninstall all the mods that the new update reinstalled that should have been there in the first place. I think there's 4 or 5 mods that I noticed that I uninstalled a year ago that shouldn't have even be there. So I'll see what's going on with that issue, and I may do a video on that one either. I can't do it on here because, unfortunately, I can't jump from this Skyrim to the other Skyrim, because if I do, I'd have to patch. I just have to do 2 separate recordings and patch them together, and at the moment I just really don't want to do the extra work. I'll just do a separate video. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen, that if you want to get into your your creation list on your PS5 Skyrim, that's the easiest way to do it. Give it the 3 to 5 minutes to load, for everything to fully load, and you shouldn't have any crash issues. If you do, leave a comment. I'll be on the lookout for some other quick and easy workarounds to see if it can't help fix the problem. Once again, if you like the channel, like, subscribe, comment. Have any show ideas, let me know. Look, guys, this isn't the YouTube channel is not my only channel. I do have another. I am on other platforms, not doing gameplay throughs. The other platforms are for my paranormal and my paranormal, cannabis, UFO, conspiracy channel, whatever you want to call it. It's not really a conspiracy channel, it's just a channel where I get to discuss things that I like to discuss, like lost civilizations, lost ancient technology, ancient history, effects of cannabis on the human body, the best way to grow cannabis, UFOs, ghost sightings, things like that. So be on the lookout for all the other platforms on there. This week I'm gonna be working on another episode after tomorrow for those other platforms, because tomorrow I'm gonna be doing a video for the new God of War Ragnarok Valhalla DLC release. Yes, that comes out tomorrow. So I'll be doing a gameplay of that, and if I notice any more issues on Skyrim, I'll be sure to pass them along and do a video. Once again, I want to thank Omega Fraz Gaming for the little method that he showed us. Uh-oh. She just froze there for a second. But once again, thanks to Omega Fraz Gaming for the little quick workaround to get into the creation on the PS5. Thanks to Echo One Eyes Only for shouting that information out and getting it to me so I can give you a PS5 version breakdown of how to do that. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it because he only works on the PS4, so that's where I come in. If he can't do something on the PS4 and I can, I will most gladly do it and post a video of it. So, in closing, ladies and gentlemen, just follow the method I just showed you and you should be fine. I'm going to go work on my PS4 version and see if I can't get that up and running, and I'll do a video on that too. But until then, this is your favorite stoner saying, peace, guys.